So this is a little jacket dress, which the main reason for showing this is to actually highlight some aspects of piping. But I'll just do a little bit of a description of what I've done. It's a small piece of chiffon that I'm using for the top layer, and I'll be using netting for the skirt part. The upper portion, again, this is to go with the blue canvas shoes. It's just little pieces of fabrics that I'm using that I had left over from some previous projects, including the net. And then the net part, I've just overlaid the chiffon with the net, and I've piped along the, I haven't really done any fine cutting or anything. It's just a very, very basic one. I've attached the lining and the upper portion of the bodice together, and I've just done a seam, just a little bit of a back opening, so that it allows for easy putting on and off. What I'm going to do is just do an invisible seam. An invisible seam, all it is just a twisted round fabric and a seam that's done on the inside between the two fabrics. Recently I actually told someone that you sandwich the fabrics together, and when you sandwich the fabrics together, this is what it basically means. The two portions of the fabrics are on either side, and the one side of the fabric is actually used on in between. So it's laid together to create like a sandwich effect. And when you turn that over, the excess fabric gets hidden on the inside, and the outer fabrics are the ones that are, well, it's all hidden away on the inside like this. And that is basically, when you turn it over, the seams are on the inside of this, and then that is the right side. So let's show this again. This is the other side. This is the front of the bodice, and this is the back. Here what I've got is that's the neckline, and I've stitched the neckline around, so I've got the two pieces here. Now the front portion, I take that and I lay it, and then this is just attached to the one side. If it's easier for you, do a seaming there so that it doesn't become confusing. Then twist that around and overlap that so that the four pieces are sandwiched together, and basically you're just running a seam over here and then turning it over, and it should hide all the raw unsalvaged edges on the inside. And so it gives you a neat shoulder finish, where all the inside, stitching is hidden away between the two. Now the only thing I would suggest here is, before you close it off, is to trim away the excess of this so that it's all neat, and because if it's a fine fabric, you can see the reflection of this. And we don't want the reflection showing us necessarily ugly. So once this is now there's two portions. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to stitch the two linings together and the two upper portions together. Now the upper portions, we'll do the upper portions first. This is where we're going to be attaching the skirt part, which is going to come later on. So at the moment what we've got is we've got two pieces of the lining. The longer one is the lining which is in full. The upper one we're going to have attach the skirt later on, which is going to flow on top of the lining. So we're going to take the chiffon from the back, bring it forward, and just do a seam to attach the net and the two chiffon bases together. Becomes confusing. So it isn't confusing really. What you have is the armhole here, which we're later going to attach to the lining. So if we put this to a side, we're going to do exactly the same to the lining. And we're going to seam the lining all the way down to the hemline. So the two pieces of the lining, leave the inner portion of the bodice sort of hanging separately. We're going to run a one seam all the way around, holding the upper and the inner lining together, just on the corner, just so that both the fabrics are held together. This will help when we attach the piping to this, because all the pieces are, we can trim away the excess and so on, and all the pieces are firmly held together, so they're easy to stitch with. The other side as well, just stitch the So before I start attaching the piping, what I'm going to do is just give this a little bit of a press. One, it be sitting properly, and two, it would give it all the excess. I need to just trim away all this excess away so that it's all evened out, ready for attaching the final part of this. Well, two parts to this. One is the piping, and secondly is attaching the skirt portion onto the dress.